Hi, I'm here at a Chevrolet dealership. This week's episode is going to be on a muscle car, a little bit on history, a little bit on the new car. Give you a hint, car originally came out in 1953, and in 2020 they gave it a major upgrade. So let's go take a look. Hi, welcome to another episode of All Auto Vlog. I'm here at Findlay Chevrolet. Today's episode is going to be on the 2020 Corvette Sting Ray in the mid-engine. Behind me is an earlier model Corvette. So if you're ready, if you have your seatbelt on and your racing harness, let's go take a look at the 2020 Corvette Sting Ray mid-engine C8. All right, before we jump into the 2020 Corvette Sting Ray, I thought we'd start back in 1953 with the first Corvette, touch on several production years of the Corvette, and work our way to the 2020 Corvette. So let's get started.
The men who designed this had fun, and the builders and the testers had fun. And while it's never going to take the place of the family car, I, for one, am going to have a lot of fun owning it. Now, this could never have happened unless the world's largest manufacturer of automobiles had put its tremendous resources back of the job of designing and building a sports car to uphold American leadership in every field of transportation. They built her to handle like an angel, with every ounce of weight right where it belongs for perfect balance, clean and sleek and efficient looking, and light and strong. And they kept the cockpit simple and practical. For the power plant, they started with the finest valve and head engine. Some extra special features of higher compression, triple side draft carburetors, and dual exhaust give her 160 horsepower. Naturally, the automatic transmission quadrant's on the floor. That's in keeping with sports car tradition. In addition to the speedometer, there's a tachometer to measure engine revolutions. They call her Corvette, and she belongs to the highway just for the sheer and simple joy of driving, for the open road and the country byway, for Mr. and Mrs. America in a carefree mood. Boy, what a car.
The first Corvette was powered by a 235 cubic inch six-cylinder engine, 150 horsepower, two-speed power glide transmission. Now the body was constructed out of fiberglass to help keep the weight down on the car and help with the performance. The 1957 Corvette came with many options, but you could trick it out with a 283 cubic inch V8, 283 horsepower, fuel injected, positive traction rear end, 4-speed manual transmission. It was a real hot rod.
See if you don't think this is the most exciting car in America today. Know what makes this car so exciting besides its obvious style? It's the Corvette's not-so-obvious engineering. The things you feel but don't see. The things that led Car Life magazine to award Corvette its coveted Engineering Excellence Award. Here's what Car Life magazine says about the Corvette Sting Ray. The Sting Ray has a chassis and suspension system years ahead of contemporary sedans. Bold in concept, thoroughly tested, meticulously manufactured. Handling has been vastly improved. The car is much more stable at any speed and thus safer. Chevrolet engineers assigned to the Corvette project have done an outstanding job. We unanimously vote them Car Light's 1963 Award for Engineering Excellence. The fact is, the Corvette is a specialized machine built for people who want the ultimate in driving.
The 1963 Corvette was the first year for the Sting Ray. Now, the Sting Ray had a lot of options. but tricked out as well. It came with a 327 cubic inch V8, 360 horsepower, 352 pounds of torque, ramjet fuel injection, four-wheel independent suspension, had a 4-speed manual transmission, and the body style is very unique with that split window in the back. Now, the 1969 Corvette came with an optional big block. You could get a 427 cubic inch, 435 horsepower, 460 pounds of torque, 4-speed manual transmission with four-wheel independent suspension. Now, with the car tricked out the way I mentioned with those options, that car had a nickname. It was called the Widowmaker. They said back in 1969, if the Vietnam War didn't kill you, this car will. The 1983 Corvette pictured here, the car that never was. In 1982, when the 1983 Corvette was supposed to be released, got pushed off to very late of 1982, and then got pushed off to spring of 1983. And then with more delays and more delays, General Motors finally decided to kill the 1983 Corvette. That was very surprising, considering that would have been the 30th anniversary of the car. I can't believe that General Motors couldn't get everything together to produce an anniversary edition for 1983.
You need a machine. A machine that lives and breathes. Something you don't start. Something you awaken. Unleash. And then believe in. To find the line. To thread the needle. Something engineered to respond in an instant. To adapt and react. You need a machine so sharp, if you had to make a snap decision right now between heartbeats, it would deliver. Meet your machine.
In 2014 marks the return of the Corvette Sting Ray. It's been gone for 19 years. It left in 1995 to return in 2014. Now, this Sting Ray is powered by a 6.2 liter, or for your old school car guys, that's 376 cubic inches, 450 horsepower, 450 pounds of torque, independent suspension. Man, look at this Sting Ray. The lines. And look back at the 1963 Corvette. You see a lot of the same lines. Man, this car is sexy.
We're here in the Rocket Garden at the Kennedy Space Center Visitors Complex. A very special place to reveal a very special car, and to highlight the influence that aerospace design and innovation have had on Corvette over the years.
And the early American astronauts were also our heroes, and so it's not a big surprise that the icons of the space program drove the iconic car of America, the Corvette.
And now we're going to make history again.
I've dreamed of working on Corvette since I was a kid. And I'm excited to be a part of a talented team that is launching this game changer. The first retractable hardtop, mid-engine Corvette Sting Ray convertible. The two-panel retractable hardtop operates in 16 seconds at speeds up to 30 miles per hour at the touch of a button. The Sting Ray offers the same impressive ability to store 2 sets of golf clubs even when the top is down. The convertible also carries the coupe's front storage compartment, which can fit an airline spec carry-on and a laptop bag. The convertible with the top up matches its outstanding aerodynamic performance, providing 400 pounds of downforce at 180 miles per hour when equipped with the Z51 package.
Like all Corvettes, aerospace and jet aircraft are the inspiration for the designers, and the nacelles are no exception. They visually echo the passenger seating environment and give admirers a glimpse of the interior selection.
First quarter of next year, we'll start building convertibles alongside the coupe, and it'll continue the value proposition that we're famous for. Retracting hardtop and actually some other standard equipment requires a premium of $7,500, so it's going to start at $67,495. In the world of retracting hardtops, that's a bargain. It's a real honor for me to lead this team that's writing this new book on Corvette, and tonight we're going to add another chapter with the convertible.
Chevrolet brings the future.
Wow, what a beautiful Corvette. The 2020 mid-engine Sting Ray C8. What a car. And it's powered by an LT2 6.2 liter naturally aspirated engine that produces 495 horsepower and 470 pounds of torque. Wow. This car would definitely get out of your way when you press that pedal to the floor. You got a need for speed? This car will satisfy that, definitely. And talk about need for speed, man, 0 to 60 in 2.8 seconds, and it would do the quarter mile in 11.1 seconds at a top speed of 123.2 miles an hour in that quarter. Wow, what a car. Man, this car is probably as comfortable on the track as it is on the street going to get your morning coffee. All right, that brings us to an end of another episode. In the comments, let me know what you think on the 2020 Corvette Sting Ray mid-engine C8. I'd be interested to see what the public thinks of that car. Thank you for subscribing. If you're not a subscriber, hit that red subscribe button on your way out. Give us a like and a comment, and we'll see you next Friday. Thank you for viewing.